You're listening to Parasearch Radio, news, views and reviews from the world of the paranormal from across the UK and beyond. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and the World Wide Web. Parasearch UK Radio. Parasearch Radio, broadcasting to the UK and beyond.
The views and opinions expressed by presenters and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Parasearch Radio or its affiliates and sponsors. Listener discretion is advised. You're listening to Kerry Greenaway and Mark Manley on the Dark Mirror Paranormal Show, only on Parasearch Radio.
Good evening and welcome to the Dark Mirror Paranormal Show on Parasearch Radio and Z Talk Radio. Tonight I am joined in the studio by firstly Z Talk co-host Mr. Jay Lynch. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing fine, thanks. And my usual co-host Mr. Mark Manley. Good evening, Mark.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Love that off-the-shoulder number you've got going on there.
Huh? You talking to me or Carrie?
I was talking to you, mate.
Oh, thank you.
Actually, I was talking to Paul. I mean, you know.
And my Tuesday co-host is in the studio as well, Mr. Paul Rook. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening. What have I done to deserve this show?
Wow. You were around. You were bored. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
You were looking like Caligula. That's what the problem is.
No, he was mental.
So
I've seen the movie.
Exactly.
Oh, God, I'm not going to get a word in with this lot. So what are we talking about tonight? We're having a look, which none of them were that worried about doing, but I kind of wanted to have a little natter about it, was eBay, haunted eBay, paranormal eBay. What can you buy? It's not all about dolls, you know.
Don't even get me started on this. Well, yeah, let's get me started on this, actually. You can buy pretty much haunted everything, but, and this is one of my beefs with haunted, alleged haunted stuff. Pretty much most of the alleged haunted stuff is either a teddy bear or a doll or a box that somebody with OCD has gone over with a candle. And you don't really get anything else haunted, like a haunted toilet roll. That'd be hilarious. Or a haunted Ann Summers item. That'd be even better. Or a haunted T-shirt, haunted vest, haunted pair of pants. You know, you don't. It's always a doll or a teddy bear or perhaps a book.
I've actually found paranormal haunted jewelry.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Yes, you're right. There is some haunted jewelry for sale. Yeah.
Yeah. I was scared when I saw it.
Well, it was a haunted nipple ring, so I don't blame you.
No, it literally looked like I don't know, a 6-year-old made it.
Oh God. Right. I mean, do you know what, Mr. Paul Rook? What's your take on all this allegedly haunted items for sale?
It's just jumping on the bandwagon, isn't it? Really.
Well, as of tonight, 1 hour ago, there was 175 haunted dolls, just the dolls. Yeah, on the UK site only, and that was .com. That was .co.uk site. That's 175.
Well, everyone wants a haunted doll. I've got 2 in my cupboard.
Yeah, but we all know about the dolls you keep in your cupboard. I've got pumps in the other cupboard.
I think the problem is are we all a bit jaded to that now, really? Because it did become very fashionista at one point to have a haunted doll. Let's just talk about the doll thing, really. It did become quite fashionable, should we say? It's an interesting study if you are getting...
The ones I've got, I tend to use as a psychological experiment, just to put them in a room with someone and see what they can manifest them. Yeah, you know what they can get from the doll. But they're not haunted at all. They're just two old-fashioned porcelain doll things, and they're staying in the cupboard because their eyes follow you everywhere. They're never going to be seen. They're never going to be seen anywhere else other than on an investigation.
Well, I think
like
first of all we all need to take.
Claiming that they're haunted, are you? Just using them as a trigger object in a location and saying to people that they're haunted just to see whether they react differently to it. But I don't see the point in taking it to because what do you do, right? So you put a doll in a room of a place that you're doing an event, which could possibly have activity anyway because that's the reason you're at that location. So if something happens, you can't equate it to whether or not it was going to happen anyway in the room or whether or not it was the doll.
Absolutely, but then there are some locations where you know full well that nothing is going to happen anyway.
True.
So to use that in one of those locations and then just see what people can pick up from that doll, and then it's just manifesting itself. It's a psychological experiment at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, it's a fascinating one because I remember when we spoke to Kev Kerr about haunted dolls, and he said he had an alleged haunted doll in his house, and he didn't tell his wife or his girlfriend at the time, that it was haunted, and it was only when she found out she was like, "Get it out of my house now!" So the reaction was like different, but it had been in the house with nothing happening around it. But so that was an interesting way of seeing how somebody would respond to an item that had a story, I suppose, attached to it. So what do you think, Jay?
I'm sitting here and you said something about on eBay checking something, and I put in haunted dolls here in the United States, and it came up with 3,035 results.
Wow. That's a lot, isn't it?
Do you know what? Do you want to know one of the things that has just got me that's allegedly haunted and for sale?
Go
and
on.
I'm looking at it now. This is just the best. A haunted brand flag shaped the same as Ireland.
A haunted
bran flake that is in the shape of Ireland.
No, you are kidding me. He must be on a wind up on this
Right there!
one.
Oh.
Right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Read the description. How much is it up for? Is it a bid?
£100.
£1. So it's a bid.
£100.
£100.
Yeah. To be fair, he's got a box full of them.
What?
He's just nibbling away at the edges to get it in the right
He
shape.
can't be selling them, surely. The seller can't seriously be selling them.
Oh my God! No, listen to this. Right, it's to do with paranormal. Oh dear, it is. This will just show you that the three little words "gull," "ear," "bull" come to mind. Right, somebody is selling a bran flake which is imbued with the luck of Ireland. It has been blessed and imbued with the luck of the Irish, right? To abide by eBay's policy for sale of items such as this, you will receive a coupon for this incredible bran flake shaped like Ireland and imbued with all the luck of the Irish. It has been blessed by a monk. Condition is new, not used with milk, and unboxed. I am selling a special coupon that can be used to redeem this bran flake. Oh, it's just gone off. Hang on. That can be used to redeem this coupon to the address. Oh God, to the address below, and you will receive this amazing brand flag. Lynn.
Oh my
Yep.
God.
Oh, dear.
Oh, you think
Nightmare.
It's a brand flag.
A brand
You talk
It's a
about
brand flag.
It's like
put in haunted dolls on Facebook and just watch up all the little sites popping up for dolls for sale. $40, $100, $250. Oh my God!
but they must be selling, otherwise they wouldn't be up, would they? Surely people wouldn't waste their time doing it. I mean, I came across something earlier on today, and there was 4 or 5 different buying bits, slots you could buy for. So there wasn't one seller on this, or if it was one seller, you had to have multiple posts. And it weren't just about like items like that. There was a haunted doll EMF electrostatic trigger object for £125.
Now, see, using them as trigger items, are also using them as equipment. Now, when Mark says about the teddy bear, my friend Paul Bradford, who used to be with Ghost Hunters International, he's actually the one that designed the Boo Buddy, and it's designed to actually do your investigation for you.
Well,
Yes,
that's what you would think that this would be more like. So someone sort of looked at the Boo Buddy or the teddy bear ones and thought, oh, we'll put it inside a doll. That's kind of what you would think. But when I actually looked into this, it actually had a K2 meter inside it.
Oh my God!
That was the cheap version.
That's £125. I think I'd rather save the rest of the money. I don't know how much a Boo Buddy is, but or how much one of the proper ones are. Do you not think this trend is a little worrying though in the paranormal field? Because if you don't know what you're doing, really, you could be ripped off, a lot of money for some of these items.
You can be, absolutely. And I mean, I'm just looking at an item now. Actually, it's a ghost in a bottle.
Yeah, I found that one earlier on as well.
It's got a bottle, and they've put a wax cap on the top, and it looks like it's got a bit of water in it as well. To be fair, and they're selling them for 10 quid each.
10 quid.
Wow, a ghost in a bottle, not a fart in a jar.
Yeah, and it's buy it now as well, or best offer. So it's available now.
Well, there's a hangman's noose.
They don't do any returns, so once you bought it, that's it. That's your tenner gone. This one's supposed to be a spirit of Mary Jones, a previous occupant of a house who passed away there. Doors will slam shut, lights would go on and off, and now she's trapped in a bottle. So it even gives you a little bit of a story. It doesn't actually specify how they stuffed it into the bottle, but
the paranormal field have been trying for aeons to trap spirits into something, and now we've got it on tap. We could just buy them from eBay.
Exactly. So now, right, the Ghost is transformed the new Ghostbusters movie. They're going to do away with their light streams and stuff, and they can just carry around bottles.
Yeah, exactly. You can.
I wonder could you imagine, right? Like, if you was like a proper scientist, interesting case study. I'm going to buy one of these and open it in the lab and see whether there's any differences. It would be, God, could you imagine if they actually have done that? This person managed to do it, and they open the bottle and mayhem ensues.
See, I don't. Years ago,
I wouldn't be happy as a spirit being stuffed into a bottle. It's like very genie in a bottle thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, years ago there used to be like a very popular fast food chain, and to celebrate Ghostbusters movie, they actually brought out the Ghostbusters meal, and you could buy the ghost in a can. My cousin had one, and I always wanted to open it, but he wouldn't let me. So I don't actually know what was in them.
Probably a can of...
Go on.
It was probably a can of Perrier.
Or it's slime or something like that from, like, Slimer. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's possible. I mean, obviously it was to do with the movie, and it isn't a genuine ghost or nothing, but it was just billed as, like, a ghost in a can. And that was like
What?
my
The
closest
only
experience.
trouble with that is that it's just marketing crap, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, as I said, that was just for the film. But then that sort of sparked off this whole ghost in a bottle rubbish. People must be buying it because
No,
it's
but it
still
goes
on.
back further than that. Because if you look at Aladdin and Genie in a Bottle, the concept of being able to trap a ghost inside a jar or a bottle has gone back a lot further than now. So that concept itself has been out there for a long time. And that came through from the Persia.
Yeah.
Going back before Christ, everybody. Those kind of folklores and myths, like the flying carpet, all those sort of things. These mythologies, or magic rings, or magic pieces of jewellery, amulets and talismans, have all been around for a lot longer than what we're seeing now. This is just like the modern day recreation of it all.
Yeah, but they didn't put them on eBay, though.
They couldn't. They didn't have it. For sale, Persian magic carpet.
Well, yeah, you don't see that on eBay, do you? So,
Well, you
there
never
you
know.
go.
Did you search
Jack
it?
of the market.
Someone search that up. Go search for a flying Persian carpet or something. Because the one I found about a spirit in a bottle was a haunted malevolent spirit antique bottle, Scott Mail, no doll, ritual occult, £35. Give me details about the spirit inside the bottle. His name was Shawnee. He was a deep old Scottish clansman. And the reason he's so angry all of the time is because his clan was wiped out and he wants revenge. And
Wasn't Sawney Bean, was it?
No, it might have been actually. It just said Sawney or Shawnee. And
Sawney Bean, yeah.
and so then he said how he did it was an ancient ritual by Somerled the Wanderer. What a name that is, right? Somerled the Wanderer. Or Somerled, actually. Somerled the Wanderer. And how he did it remains a clan secret. Of course it does. Can't give that secret away. God.
Well, I've just looked up magic carpet on eBay. You can buy them. JML company make. They do various sizes. Large absorbent kitchen card doormats. They sell for $12.99, but they don't fly nowhere. That's the only downside.
Now, when you were talking about the dolls, I actually put in dolls with haunted attachments, and the first thing that popped up over here for me is a haunted E.T. doll replica with a gray alien entity attached to it. Must see, and it is not a djinn. It is an alien entity.
Ooh.
$1,200.
That's a very, very annoyed little alien
That's-
right there.
It's about 892.92 pounds.
Wow.
900 pounds.
But you do get a real alien.
But it's an ET doll, with a replica ET doll with a gray alien entity attached to it.
But yeah, you see what I mean? What more could you want?
I'd rather keep my $1,200
What more could you want?
to keep my $1,200 in my dang pocket.
Oh my God, that's just so bad.
I just found a haunted malevolent spirit antique bottle of 2 children's spirits inside. Rare and occult, £50.
Okay, guys.
One of these boxes, Dybbuk, I don't know how you pronounce it. Dybbuk boxes.
Dybbuk.
Yeah, there's one here. I've been looking at them all, and this one, I have no idea who's written it, but let's just put it this way: the English, a 5-year-old could do better. And they're trying to do a story about who's trapped in the box, and apparently it comes from Germany. And this person acquired this box from one of their many trips around the world investigating ancient hotspots, especially Egypt and other parts of Africa. Which apparently her name was Val from Germany, and was a young woman that lived in a small place called Quedlinburg. Val made potions and other herbal medicines for the town, but was found guilty of brainwashing and manipulating people to do what she wanted. The town did not like this and ran Val into the Harz Mountains. There she was brutally murdered by swords and fire. Upon revisiting to clear burnt trees the day after, her body was no longer there, yet a bird lifeless on the ground there was. Apparently, the locals believe this bird to be cursed, and anyone who comes in contact with the bird shall feel the pain of what Val felt. Although I have not opened the box, I was told by the owner that a part of the bird of its feathers are inside. So I warn you, before you buy the box, do not open. Do not open at all. Do not open, your own risk. And it just basically keeps repeating, do not open the box, you'll get haunted. If you open the box, you'll be haunted. You'll be haunted by opening the box. And it says that repeatedly.
There's enough disclaimer on that, right?
£33.
The thing is, though, what you have got to understand... There are some cases where something... Mark, you keep breaking up, babe, really badly. So there are some really famous cases called... Well, one of them, a lot of people know about, is the Anguished Man painting.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And we've heard about that one, haven't we? Paul, you talked to John Blackbird about this, didn't you?
Very long time ago, yeah. I know, didn't you attend a talk on that subject with him?
Well, when we was at Paraforce, yeah, but it's not the actual Anguished Man he's got now. It's a painting that he's done because the Anguished Man has actually gone back to his original owner. So John then went away, and the attachment of what he believed was on the Anguished Man has followed him, and he's done his own painting called David, I believe, if I remember rightly.
Yes, that was the spirit that was with him or something, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
If I remember rightly, yeah.
So he's done this painting and he's now working with that. But I haven't heard anything from John Blackburn for a while, so I don't quite know what the update is on that one.
I think the last time I heard anything from him, he was talking about Rendlesham Forest, if I remember rightly.
Anyway.
And UFO cases.
Well,
but that's not
one of the most...
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, one of the most...
Mark?
Sorry, I was waiting for you guys to finish. One of the most famous ones that was sold on eBay was The Hands Resist Him.
Yes.
Have you heard about that one?
Yeah, I have heard that one.
It's a painting that was done by an artist called Bill Stoneham in 1972. Funnily enough, the year I was born. And it depicts a boy in a green T-shirt, green pair of shorts, and a doll, sort of a little girl doll that's almost the same height as him. And he's standing in front of, I don't know, looks like an old window. And there's loads and loads and loads of pairs of hands pressed up against the window. It basically appeared on eBay in February 2000, and according to the seller, it carried some form of a curse. And the eBay description made a series of claims that the painting was cursed or haunted, and that the characters in the painting moved during the night, and they would sometimes leave the painting and enter the room in which it was being displayed. And also included with the listing were a series of photographs that were said to be evidence of an incident in which the female doll character threatened the male character with a gun that she was holding, causing him to attempt to leave the painting. Make of that what you will. I'm just going to say that. Just make of that what you will. It was sold for $1,025.
Wow.
$1,025. Yep.
So many ways to rip people off.
Really?
Did I say that out loud? My bad.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that, Jay. What was that? I'm with Jay on this one. I'm sorry, but
I'm with Richard Clements in the chat room where he said, "Buyer beware." If people are silly enough to fall for these things and pay these kind of absorbent prices for things that they have no way of verifying what's going on with it and proving that there's an attachment to it, I truly don't feel sorry for him. Full in his money or soon parted.
True.
Absolutely.
That's true.
I agree with that.
And people must be buying them, otherwise they wouldn't be going up on eBay. You know, they wouldn't be as many as there are. There must be a market out there for it.
Has to be. Like I said, over here I got 3,053, and they range anywhere between. I seen one for like $9.99, and I seen one of the ET doll for $1,200.
And
Well, it's going to be. I was going to say it's going to be.
Go on, I'll let you go first.
I was going to say it's like buy this painting of Dorian Gray and get a haunted receipt free. You know?
Yeah.
It's
I'm looking on eBay at the moment, and there's 2 silver haunted antique chalices, and they're down for £122.43 on Buy It Now. Postage is 58 quid though.
Are they haunted by members of the Monty Python team?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well,
and it does say beware, they are haunted. But
the most haunted one is the Anguished Man, isn't it? That's one of the most top haunted ones, isn't it?
Mm.
Have you ever seen it?
I just looked it up a little bit ago. I forgot that you guys had discussed it, and I heard the shows on it before, but I forgot about that painting until you mentioned it again. I'm like, well, I wouldn't pay you 50 cents for it. I think a little bit artistically is lacking.
Well, yeah. It's not like the Scream, is it?
Well, the story behind the Anguished Man, nobody knows who actually painted it, but it's well known that the artist mixed his blood into the paint, and soon after the painting was finished, he committed suicide.
It's well known that he did, but nobody knows who painted it. So how do they well know that he mixed his blood into that? They test the paint?
Exactly.
So if they test the paint, then apparently he or she has absolutely nothing on DNA record, or they would be able to identify the artist.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Just coincidentally, that they don't know who it is, but they know that they did this. They don't know that, but they know that they did this. If they don't know who did it, then how do you know all these things?
It's like everything that's got the legends behind it. Somebody started the story, and then Chinese whispers have gone along, and suddenly somebody who's got a tiny spot on their bottom has got they sneezed and their boob fell off. You know, it's just terrible. I've got this haunted painting. No, and the original story is my 5-year-old daughter did that for me. You know.
This kind of goes along the lines of what we were talking about urban legends the other day. There's a grain of truth to everything, but people sensationalize it so much and want to believe so badly that you can manipulate almost anything into becoming something if you want to. Conspiracy theories are just based upon that. Just one inkling of truth and creating doubt, then you got your whole story that you want to go with.
Exactly. I mean, I'm looking at some of these alleged paintings here, and some of them, when you read the things behind them, it's just like, really? Really? But if it sells it, and it sells it for a ridiculous amount of money, then hey, they made some good money. But I mean, I wouldn't be daft enough to go out and buy something haunted anyway. I mean, would you? Would you want that in your own home?
No, we've actually been called in a few times where people, actually two times now, we've been called in where somebody's like, I bought this haunted object on eBay, and now my house is going crazy. I'm like, no, you are. You're wrong.
I think at the end of the day, if you're you pay, like you said, you pay your money, you take your choice. But you could go to like a boot sale, or I suppose in America they're yard sales or antique shops, or you can pick up. You could walk around an antique shop and then wait till you kind of got a vibe or something off of an item.
You don't want a haunted vibe. That would be bad. I mean, Casper would have a smile on his face. That's all I'll say.
I'm going to shut up at this time.
Well, yeah, couldn't you? You could do that just as easily rather than looking on something like eBay. I mean, if I wanted something specific in regards to a spell bottle, then I would ask for it specifically. I wouldn't buy it off of eBay, and certainly wouldn't want one with a spirit inside it. But that's.
I think with like going to a yard sale or a boot sale or something, at least you get to see the object. You get to touch it. You get if you do get that vibe from it, then you can buy it and then sort of look into the research and investigate it. But Yeah, I mean, on eBay, it could just be any old rubbish, couldn't it, really?
Well, looking at
Well,
some
it
of the things,
is.
I was going to say, looking at some of the things we've looked at tonight, the ludicrous, what seems to be ludicrous, for me is just, at least if you're at a boot sale or something like you say, you get a feel for it. You can't, if that's what you want to do. If that's what you believe.
If you if you have got the mediumistic skills or gifts, then you're going to see these objects and you're going to get something from it that will prove to you that it's got an attachment or it hasn't. Or, do you know what I mean? So you'd be able to feel that.
I think a lot of
you can't through eBay.
I was going to say, I think a lot of these haunted things, you get what you want from it. If you believe it's got that, good luck to you. You know, I mean, if that's a talking piece for your parties. Like, remember in the 70s, what was it? The Crying Boy. And everybody had a print of it on their wall, and then all of a sudden people were taking these prints down and throwing them away or burning them and this, that, and the other because it was haunting their house. You remember those?
That was Zany Mirror Drive.
Yeah.
Weren't it?
Yeah.
I do think some of it's belief system, but I have worked with some objects. Obviously I work with crystals and minerals, which, I'm not saying they're haunted, they're not. But it's a very distinct energy that when you're working with them. It's not, you can feel it. You can feel, you've done it on investigations, Mark, when I've done a grid.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I mean, I do think some things can be genuinely haunted, but flogging it on eBay for 30 quid, really?
But then, Peter, like we've just looked at with the paintings, that has sort of like been examined a bit more. It's still not explained as to what's going on surrounding the painting, but something strange has happened. I mean, I remember doing, a KTPF show we played, where they actually had the Anguished Man painting. I believe I had it in the studio with them. It's been a while since I listened to the podcast, to be fair. And they were getting strange things happening. And that was something that was bought on eBay.
Well, I mean, I will say the Anguished Man painting, it's not easy on the eye. It's not something I'd have anyway. Let's put it that way. It. To be fair, I can see why it'd give you bad dreams and stuff. It's not the best.
I want to get rid of it. Yeah. Definitely. But haunted paintings, we've looked at this aspect before now as well. We did a show on it on the concept show. We looked at various haunted paintings. And actually, that's a common thing.
It is, yeah.
Energy being attached to a painting.
But then I think some artists, they put quite a lot of emotion into their painting styles. So it stands to reason that it's only going to be emotionally charged.
Do you think that the popularity of haunted paintings started taking effect after the Legend of Dorian Gray was written and became popular?
Wasn't that Victorian Dorian Gray was written?
Yeah, and we all know that the Victorian era made everything go boom.
There was a huge spiritualist movement, particularly in the UK. I'm not sure how much in the US it was at the the turn of the century. 19th century, obviously.
I was saying, in the US, they tended to burn them.
Well, no, because you guys had the Fox... Didn't you have the Fox sisters and that around that time? Jay?
He's gone to sleep. Poke him.
No, I'm just trying to think. I'm like, I don't know about that. What Fox sisters?
Oh. Okay.
I'm just saying that
with the witch. Wasn't there a witch on a farm that? Oh, Brendan Shea would know.
Brendan Shea's that's. I really don't know that much about it. I just looked up the witches and stuff up in New York. I didn't. Important role in creation. Spiritualism. I never really studied up on that a whole lot because of the whole spiritualism thing of it. Because I don't usually tend to dabble into that. That's Teresa's aspect. You know, Teresa does all.
That was nicely dealt with. I'll give you kudos for that.
I mean, and Teresa deals with all the spiritual, metaphysical, that stuff. I'm like, let's just go see what we can happen. I don't think things through. Come on. But I don't buy haunted objects off eBay either.
No, neither do I.
Well, to be fair, that's like me. I mean, I'm the UFO and ancient aliens guy and precursors and stuff. I'm not going to go and buy an ancient footprint that's haunted off eBay.
Yeah, and I'm just going to have my own haunted doll, Jezebel.
Talking about bitch.
So tell me about this Jezebel.
Yeah, we want to know about Jezebel. The name itself is intriguing, right?
Well, she must be a bit of a hussy.
She works for Jay. What do you expect?
Well, yeah.
Our outhouse.
So tell us all about Jezebel.
Jezebel's a haunted doll that we found at Jason's house in his bathroom downstairs, and we've had all kinds of experiences with her. Teresa and Tina actually had to use a spirit board to make contact with her to find out that she is actually Annabelle's long-lost country cousin, Jezebel, the haunted doll.
Oh, dear.
Is this going to be the sequel to Annabelle?
She's got a nice little house like Annabelle has, except for Jezebel's is an outhouse.
Oh, God. So Jezebel is not the bride of Chucky, but the other woman of Chucky.
She's more like Chucky's burnt-faced mistress, I guess. I don't know.
I'm lost.
Oh, God. Chucky's banjos are a tank.
Whenever Chucky gets out of town and he goes out in the country, he visits Jezebel.
Oh, dear.
You can find out all about her on LAP Productions' YouTube channel. There's 5 episodes of her about it. So let's go check it out.
Awesome.
Is she gonna be doing anything with Bigfoot in the near future?
Her and Bodine have a date coming up, I think.
Oh, I've got to say it. I've got to watch that.
A date?
Oh, dear.
Well, maybe it's just a rendezvous. We don't know yet.
Well,
I think her and
sure
Bodine need to come over there.
So
Sorry, I was just saying, I think her and Bodine should come over here and do some episodes in the UK.
Oh, Bodine would love to come over there. To get a Bigfoot in the UK, he's ready to pack up his fly.
Yeah, I reckon that'd be very cool. We could introduce him to Nero, or Emperor Caligula there. You could introduce him to the alien guy. You could introduce him to the lady of, do you remember the really foxy redhead of American Horror Story? You could introduce him to her as well.
He's actually got a suit just for the occasion to start traveling.
Oh, God. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for future references.
Right, there's another little thing on eBay, and actually, it's not so bad on the actual normal selling eBay sites. But if you, apparently, I don't know how you do this or whatever, but on the dark web, this is a bigger thing than it is on like normal eBay. But this is the mystery boxes. Now, on normal eBay, you get loads of mystery boxes, and it'll be bric-a-brac and bit of this and bit of that. It's not necessarily classed. I did find one haunted, paranormal, occult, witchcraft, spirit mystery box. And in it, you might find jewellery, photos, occult, witchcraft items, divination, altarpieces, £20. But on the dark web, I know you can get a lot darker stuff to do with this sort of thing. Put it this way, I've seen from some of the videos I've seen, you have to put your gloves on, kind of boxes.
Yeah.
Like some of it's like proper and so yeah. So what do we make of the
You could probably get some
box?
body parts.
Oh, I don't want to
one way
know.
of disposing of the body, sell it off on eBay in a mystery box.
Haunted items.
God.
Well, there was that Russian guy who mummified all his victims and made them look like dolls, and his mum and dad just thought he had a weird obsession with dolls.
Wasn't that Carry On Scream?
Yeah, and they literally looked like just life-size dolls. And to be absolutely fair, if one of my kids was doing that, I think I'd be questioning it after about 3 of them. Be like, don't you think you should be going out and meeting girls?
You sure you wasn't just watching Carry On Screaming? Because I did that and that.
Yeah,
movie.
No, definitely it wasn't Carry On Screaming. It was some Russian chap. He only got found out because one of the dolls cracked or something, and they saw the girl underneath.
There is the story of the mannequin, though, isn't there, in the bride shop, and she died and supposed to get married, and the guy basically mummified her, but she's now a mannequin in the window, or they say allegedly she's.
It's just one of those urban legends, I think.
It's
Isn't
a
it?
mannequin. It possibly is, but who knows? Funnily enough, the shop owner won't let anybody do any tests on it to see if it's true or not.
But then I was reading the other day that I think it was a Chinese monk, they found the body of a Chinese monk inside a statue of a Buddha.
Yeah,
That's
but wasn't
right,
he in a deep meditative state?
Yeah. He was one of those ones who got that.
I really don't know.
Yeah, I think they used to do that. They used to be like the highest level of attainment or something like that. And they would go into such a deep meditative state that it's almost like they're not alive.
So they put the statue.
Well, obviously, they end up going, how many years are we going to just leave him sitting there like he's getting a bit smelly now? They go, I know, we'll just put him in the statue. It'll be fine.
So, yeah, it's not unheard of, that sort of stuff.
Oh,
No.
God. I get this right.
I don't know
What
if
I've
you buy
just
one on
seen
eBay,
that was
though.
sold on eBay, right?
What then? Mm-hmm.
Do you want... Oh, dear. Sexy Spirit Bra. This bra reportedly contains the spirit, and this is in inverted commas, the spirit of a sexy woman. And wearing it will allegedly ensure not just great support, but a constant stream of admiration and gifts. Made in the 1950s, it's a size 32A, ladies and gentlemen, a surfboard. So you've got to be rather petite to harness its powers. But some of its benefits can be enjoyed even if you don't plan on wearing it. You can place the bra by a lit white candle to see her spirit in full body apparition. The sailor notes, and if you break out a red candle, you can have an erotic encounter with the spirit, according to the seller. Right, I'm not.
And
I'm
how much is it?
Leave that there.
How much is
I don't know. It's sold on eBay. It doesn't say how much it went for.
Okay, I was going to say, we could get one for Richard for Christmas. We'll chip in for it.
Just had an aneurysm.
Oh my lord! Oh my lord!
Yeah, haunted bra, and a smelly photo apparently as well.
Nice.
Okay.
There's a smelly photo that was sold. It's I don't even know how you say this. A daguerreotype. Where it's an old black and white Victorian picture. And it's inhabited by a Victorian gent named Martin. It was initially found in the eaves of an attic, and its owner would bring it out for guests to see. Eventually, people began to notice that certain smells would mysteriously appear and just as mysteriously disappear. Personally, if this is at a packed party, I'd say somebody'd had too many baked beans. Such as the scent of roses and cigar or pipe smoke, or even the odour of smoke from a wood fire, the seller writes. When questioned with a Ouija board, the spirit inside was sometimes talkative and even playful, but other times reticent. But some spooky things started happening in the house, like objects disappearing or being moved, and footsteps or whispers faintly heard, and the strange smells got worse and more grotesque. These strange goings-on became more frequent until finally the image was removed from the house and sent to a collector who reports some continued activity. I wonder how many times they blamed the dog for it.
Yeah.
I would constantly blame the dog.
It's a funny one, isn't it? Because we do have a belief in, we believe, I've talked about this before actually, we believe that places can be haunted, so why not objects?
Well, there are attachments to items anyway, as we know, but I'm just naturally sceptical about anybody flogging something on eBay and saying You know, I mean, quite frankly, I could go and get a pair of my trainers and say, it's been haunted by the smell of foul old Ron, you know, and somebody's going to go, really? You know, so...
Foul old Ron.
It's
poor Ron.
Foul old Ron. Foul old Ron was a character from the Discworld series, and he had a stench so bad it had its own personality and followed him around everywhere. So,
bless.
you know, I think I may go and wear a pair of boxers for a month and flog them on eBay and see if anybody. And I'll just say it's haunted by the strange aroma of ancient of ghost past. How much for this haunted pair of boxers?
You're not allowed to sell underwear on eBay. I'm just telling you that. Really.
Well, I could floss.
Yeah, because she's tried.
I'm not that bad. Anyway.
Is Jay okay? Hi, Jay.
Fine.
I was looking at this and seriously asking myself the question. I have bought stuff off of eBay before, but not haunted stuff specifically. But I have when I've been looking for something to do, I don't know, a herb or an item that I need for something. I'll look at eBay and probably buy it from there because I'll do my own work on it when it gets here. So I've not actually looked into, would I buy anything specifically that said it was haunted? If it served a purpose that I was working on, possibly, but I haven't found anything that I would work on. But some of the jewellery's interesting. That's supposed to have like spirits attached to the piece of jewellery. But then doesn't that buy into my belief in regards to crystals and minerals?
Yeah, I think it could do.
I've found where the Dybbuk boxes come from, why they suddenly become popular on eBay.
Oh, well, because of Zach.
Yeah, the wine cabinet that Mr. Baggins, Mr. Bilbo himself bought. And apparently it was haunted by a spirit, a Dybbuk, which is a Jewish thing. It's from Jewish law, and it's a spirit that has a power to possess a living person. Normally, I find that Jack Daniels is the sort of spirit that possesses me. But yeah, since he bought this allegedly haunted wine cabinet off eBay in the early 2000s, it's just gone daft with all these haunted Dybbuk boxes and haunted Dybbuk pants and things like that, you know. Yes.
That does seem to be a bit of a fave thing, the Dybbuk box or something like that, isn't it? It's supposed to be. But the jinn, which is supposed to inhabit, actually, like, haunt people, not from the Jewish perspective, that is, as opposed to just haunt people or possess people or attach to people, not things.
I do think that spirits can attach themselves to items. I do, because if they're strongly attached to that item, or that item is part of something that they were really strongly attached to, I can understand that. But to then go and sell it on eBay, if it really is haunted, that's a bit of a smack in the face for the thing that's haunting it anyway. But like I say, selling a haunted item for 30 quid. My late great grandma's in that box there. You can have it for £30. Oh. No. Just no. No. And again, no.
Okay. I think we've got the no there. Is there anything you would look at, Jay or Paul? Anything you guys would look at buying on eBay?
No.
In this way, obviously, because you know, things on eBay.
I do use eBay quite a bit, and no, I don't tend to go for any of the haunted stuff at all. I don't even buy paranormal equipment on eBay anymore.
I have never made a person on eBay.
No.
Do you want to know what I have just found that's haunted on eBay? That was being sold on eBay.
Go on.
Go on.
A haunted sandwich bag. A Ziploc sandwich bag.
That's quite a good idea.
Okay.
Well, according to the seller of this $25 paranormal sandwich bag, the simple plastic pouch can restore or heal anything and anyone. There's no wrong way to use the haunted Ziploc bag of Oh my God, the Ziploc bag of restoration. The listing says, but it works best on snack foods. The most effective way to use the bag we have discovered is to purify, decontaminate, revive, and give new life to food items such as Cheetos, sandwiches, pizza, chopped veggies, and granola. It comes as sets of 3, 6, or 9.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not even it. Well, maybe,
I'm serious.
Maybe it's a marketing ploy, that one. To sell more of them, so they're covering more things that people like more regular. That maybe there was a trending search at something for one time, and they were buying into the trends of the buzzword search engine triggers.
I must admit, plastic bags do come in handy for medical emergencies. Just saying.
Okay.
Yeah, burns especially.
Oh, burns. Okay, sorry.
Burns, stab wounds to the chest. Stab wounds to the chest as well. Tape it on 3 sides over the wound.
I've just seen the haunted screwdriver as well.
What?
Yeah. Do you want to hear about the haunted screwdriver?
Yeah.
I've got a screwdriver that can turn over the telly.
Well, for a start, it says here this.
It's orange juice.
What? Say that again?
So my screwdrivers require orange juice, but that's a whole different thing we're not supposed to talk about.
The headline for this one is "This reportedly haunted tool." I leave you with that one. Is, according to the seller, inhabited by the ghost of Xander, a 32-year-old who died after the car he was repairing fell on him. He appears as a smoky white apparition, and you may hear him laughing and talking. This is a very positive energy item, the seller promises. Also, like any regular guy, he really loves TV.
Oh, he'd just sit on your coffee table watching TV with you. He could become your best bud. Your best bud screwdriver.
Oh, dear.
Well, we all know what men are like. They have favourites. They have like a favourite screwdriver or a favourite saw.
Yeah.
There's generally one tool does about 1 million things only because it is your favourite. So it kind of is the go-to. Girls do this too, but we like to say it's a boy thing, but it's not. It's a human thing. But, not to be sexist at all. But, yeah. So that screwdriver, it's got a little spirit attached to it. That's going to be your mate. It's going to be your favourite screwdriver in the whole wide world. Never leave your side.
You could put it in your Ziploc bag. And it keep it...
Because the Ziploc bag is going to disappear. Whereas... And don't want to take your favourite screwdriver with you, do ya? So you've got to be careful when you're mixing your objects too, guys.
Go on.
No. We're trying to keep this a family show.
No. This isn't a family show at all. Come on, out with it.
No, just talk about mixing.
You leave that in your brain there, Joe. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Let's just leave Jay over
place for it.
And Mark, stop poking the beast over there.
There's a reason why you are in the UK and I'm in the USA. There's reason for that.
I'm not poking any beast, because if I was, I wouldn't be on air.
Oh, dear me.
I'll give you one last one. I found 2 haunted rings, but this one's the most intriguing. And again, this is another item that's been sold on eBay. It's the ring of a genie queen. The seller of this ring claims it contains the spirit of Mycilia, Mycilia, an omnipotent genie queen who, just for the record, has given permission and requested that we use her name, Mycilia, in her listing here on eBay to help find her next master. She is very... She is very friendly. She isn't the worst spirit to keep around, and she communicates telepathically and can grant unlimited wishes and unlimited sexual energy.
Do you know
Telepathic interaction, by this
What
genie
a
in a
load.
ring.
What a load of rubbish. If she was giving away an unlimited number of wishes, would he really be selling it?
Exactly.
Let's face it, it's a haunted cock ring. It's what it is. It's got unlimited sexual energy in it. That's what it is. Put it on your boner. That's it. You're a happy chappy for the rest of the day.
Oh, my Lord.
You know how bad, Mark, when you were spelling the name that I wanted to interrupt you. When you get to MIC, I so badly want to say KEY. I couldn't help it and started singing the Mickey Mouse song. But this is rubbish. Such privilege.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
If you slip this on your John Thomas, do you hear a voice say, "You ain't never had a friend like me"?
Oh my God, that's funny.
Oh dear. Is that too far, Paul? Do we think that's a little too far?
I'm just a little bit, yeah.
Well, it could be worse. It could be a speech bubble coming out of it saying that. So
Once again, Mark has seen the line, said hello to the line, and waved at it as he passed by the line.
Yeah, I went on holiday. Took the line with me.
See, I'm a bad influence. You guys are going to fire me already.
He was doing really well until you went down that thought pattern, and then you telepathically interacted that, and then it pops out of Mark's mouth.
It's a haunted genie ring. I mean, Jay and I come from mothers from another mother. You know, we're both brothers from another mother. I mean, come on. Of course we're going to say something like that.
I'm trying my best to behave. I really am, and I'm failing miserably. And I'm being a bad influence in the process.
One last concept before we wrap the show up. There is a belief system that we create paranormal activity. We externalize. It's an external manifestation of our own, born from our own psyche. So if that's the case, it could be us who's giving energy to the objects, not far beyond emotional energy or whatever way you want to look at it. So we're actually creating these haunted objects through belief system and external manifestation of energy. What do we think of that one? 3 minutes to go.
Very possible.
Absolutely possible.
But why would you be manifesting your spirit and chucking it in a bottle?
Well, you wouldn't necessarily be doing that, but I was thinking more about like the dolls and things like that you see. Because they are so like, you know what kids are like with their dolls. I mean, even my boys have like a favourite teddy bear. Do you know what I mean? So they may well.
I've still got mine.
Unhappy, or I don't know. There was a situation in the family, and it was their go-to toy. We heard about that with. Isn't that supposed to be like the backstory of Robert the doll?
I sort of had this sort of discussion with someone the other day, and I was like, why is it always haunted dolls? You know, there's so many other toys out there that don't have attachments. I mean, you don't see like in haunted antique museums, you know, the haunted Lego set or the haunted Action Man or Evel Knievel or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? So
no,
why is it
not
always
as
dolls?
personable though, are they? Like a little doll.
Well, they are for
teddy
boys.
bear. You wouldn't.
They are for boys.
Would you sleep with and cuddle and pour your troubles out to your Action Man?
I think we've all slept with a bit of a haunting in the past.
You're more likely to do that with a teddy bear or a doll, aren't you?
Well, I'll see what people do with teddy bears, you know.
I don't know. I just don't buy into any of it, to be fair.
But then you had some really interesting experiences when you went to a haunted antiques museum, research centre. Haunted antiques research centre.
Yeah, that was a research centre.
And you had a really interesting experience whilst you was there.
No, rubbish. That wasn't interesting. That was painful.
Still happened.
Yeah, but I'm still in two minds whether it was a spiritual thing or whether it was a medical problem.
No,
I don't know.
I know, but
It's just it was coincidence that it just happened then.
Or was it? On that note, we have actually come to the end of the show. So, guys, next week's topic on the table is going to be
Dun, dun, dun.
Haunted batteries and where to find them.
No. This is a very interesting concept that we can talk about. Can tattoos be haunted?
Oh, God. I just had one done. Don't say that, you flipping heck.
Can tattoos be haunted? A lot of symbology is used in tattoos, isn't it? And we talk about the power of a symbol. You know,
I have a lot of tattoos, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and hopefully Carl will be back to join us next week as well.
Well, Carl has a lot of tattoos as well, but normally just in places that, you can't see. Give him a few drinks and he'll drop his trousers and show you his red anchor, but,
I didn't think he had any.
He hasn't, I'm messing about.
Oh. Anyway.
Well, as far as I'm aware, he doesn't have any.
So, we are wrapping the show up. Don't forget, Monday I go live on the Parasearch Radio group page to give you a weekly rundown of shows. If you've missed any of our shows, pop over to our YouTube channel, where if you're over there and you like what you see, click like, share and subscribe.
Subscribe.
Don't forget, blogs are up on our website, parasearch.org. And thank you, Jay. Z Talk Radio listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. And hopefully we'll see you guys next week as well, yeah?
Absolutely, looking forward to it.
I'm worried about Jay being this quiet because, it's not like him, and I'm just waiting for it to happen. Oh, and by the way, there was a haunted remote-controlled flying UFO, so there you go. Aliens! So, yeah.
On that note, say good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to join us for more shows throughout the week. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and the World Wide Web to keep up to date with all the shows right here on Parasearch Radio.